Hey, this is Crafty here. How you doing? You ready for some next level steps for drummers? Of course you are. This is part 2, so let's get right into it. Okay, so this is the next level steps for drums part 2. So if you haven't seen part 1, go check that out. Now, this is called the next level steps because they're the next level above beginner standard. And if you're not too sure if you're a beginner or not, well, you can check out my videos, Are You Past the Beginner Stage, parts 1 and 2. Okay, first thing on our list in this part 2 video of next level steps is, do you own a drum key? I'm going to assume that if you're watching these next level steps, then you would own a drum key. But do you have access to one all the time? Do you do what I do, which is having them on your set of car keys? I've just got one, so wherever I go, I've got a drum key. So get one of those. What a great segue into the next item on this checklist, which is being able to tune your drums. So it's really important to know that you've got to tune your top skin as well as your bottom skin. But if you don't actually understand how to tune, well, basically these things here are called lugs, and you have to either tighten or loosen to be able to just get all of the notes sounding the same, all of the pitches. So if you're tuning toms, it's good to have the snare off. It's really good to dampen. So I can hear that this one is lower than this one. And so what I'll do is I will turn this one up a little bit by tightening. Now some people ask me, why would I turn this one up and not that one down? Well, it's a little bit of a matter of taste, but it's also just trying to get the rest of the lugs to have some equilibrium. How's that for a word? So here we go. So I'm just going to adjust as I go here. So this one here sounded like it was a bit lower. This one sounds like it's a bit higher. So apart from that little buzz there, it sounded like it was more one single tone. Kind of. Now there's some weird extra resonances that just last a little bit longer, and so I'll use this little thing here. It's called a moon gel. Now you can dampen with other things like gaffer tape. Sometimes I've seen people use masking tape on top of like a squashed up tissue. It's, look, whatever you've got around works for you. But buying just a few little moon gels is my favorite way of dampening the drums. And here we go. It's just one sound. Some people don't like dampening the drums because it loses that ring. But for today's purpose, in this particular space, I'm using moon gels. It sounds better to my ears, but it's a matter of taste. So just knowing that it exists is your next level. Okay, so next on our list is adjusting the hi-hat mid-song. So for instance, I might play a verse with the hi-hat completely closed. And then if it gets to a chorus, that's just a good go-to for a bit of dynamics there, whereas you could actually incorporate opening and closing the hi-hats mid-bar or mid-drum beat, like this. And there's a bunch of different parts during the bar that you could open and close the hi-hats really fast. Or so yeah, give that a go. Yeah, and one other extra way is a good jazz pattern, which the hi-hat, just on its own, has a lot of character. Sometimes I see students of mine, sometimes they'll sit on the drum kit and they'll put it all the way down and tighten it, that way they can't move it, and then I'll go, no, don't do it like that, because then you're missing out on all of this potential extra sound characteristics. So yeah, so it would sound just like this without the extra. Yeah, so practice a bunch of different ways of doing that. It's hours of fun. Okay, next on our next level steps list, that was hard to say, is how to hit the cymbals and the skin. So sometimes people will bash right into a cymbal like that. It's a great way to break sticks and cymbals. The best way to hit a cymbal is to swipe it. Just swipe away. Whereas there's different areas of your hi-hats that you can hit. You can hit like that. That's with the stick being above where the hi-hat is, whereas the stick could actually be a little bit lower, and then you get it's like a different sound. And you can also hit different parts of the cymbal as well. You can hit the bell like that, or that bell. The ride cymbal a lot of the time is just another version of the hi-hat. So for instance, you play a few bars on the hi-hat, and then you change to the ride. But you can hit the bell. Hitting it all the time is a bit ouch. You can if you want, ouch. Alternating between whether it's on the beat or off the beat. This is on the beat. And off the beat. And you can also crash a ride. If you don't have a crash cymbal over here and you're doing a drum fill, then it's okay to crash the ride. You don't have to go all the way back over there. So for instance, now hitting the drums, it's super important that you just figure out where the middle spot of the drum is. Right there, and then just do your very absolute best to hit the middle. So let's see how I go. Yeah, I tried my best to hit right in the middle. If you're hitting off to the side, then you might want that as an effect, but for consistency of sound, in the middle compared to, you know, if you're hitting sort of all over the place, it will sort of sound really disjointed. Sometimes if you don't have the stick too far in, then you'll just accidentally hit the rim. So yeah, swipe your cymbals and hit in the middle of each drum skin. Okay, next on our checklist is, can you listen to a song you've never heard before and firstly tap along in time, and secondly mimic the drum beat. It's not as easy as it might sound. If you've never tried doing that, well then give that a go. Next on this list, this might be the hardest out of this whole video. It's getting independence with each 4 of your limbs. So let's take this simple standard beat. First way of getting some sort of independence is, can you swap your hands around? Now we're only using 1 foot here at this stage, but could you swap what your right hand is doing with what your right foot is doing? So for instance, we'll go back to the normal beat. So now this is going to be swapped with the right foot. then perhaps could you have the right hand being swapped with the left hand, but then what the right hand was doing is now what the right foot is doing. I know, it's confusing. So here's what the right hand was doing. I'm using my left hand now. Okay, next on our list, this is a philosophy. It's when you play, are you relaxed? There's nothing worse than you're trying ever so hard to get something on the instrument, or you're just playing along and it's not an enjoyable feeling being tense. You can use energy and be enthusiastic about your playing. It's different to being tense. If you're not just feeling all relaxed and loosey-goosey, well then your playing is going to suffer.
Loosey-goosey, baby. Loosey-goosey.
So the next time you're playing your drums, first and foremost, conscious thought should be, I'm going to stay relaxed. And you should get a more enjoyable experience out of it. Okay, next on our list is, do you have a spare pair of sticks handy? I want to save you from being that guy that rocks up to a gig or a rehearsal and you've set up your whole drum kit and, oh my God, I forgot the sticks.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Yeah, so what I do is I have a spare set in my car, I have a spare set in my cymbal bag, I have a spare set in my hardware bag. And I used to have a spare set in my laptop bag, but I don't have that anymore, so that's where these are going. Okay, next on our list is incorporating some percussion.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Now, so while I'm on the subject of percussion, you don't have to have a traditional percussion style instrument to incorporate with playing drums. I've got this guitar stand here. So yeah, basically it's just trying to hit something around the area that's going to make some sort of a noise. And a quick extra side note is you might find that there's parts of the drum kit that sound a little bit untraditional and a bit different as well. It's like hitting the rim. Or just a hardware stand. Okay, that's it for this part 2 video. I hope you've enjoyed the tips, but never fear, the tips aren't over. I've got more for you coming up in part 3 of the next level steps for drums, so stay tuned for that. Just before I go, I've got something to offer you. It's a free ebook. It's called Actually, How Good Are You? Now, let's face it, a lot of times in our life, we're going to have to evaluate, reevaluate, and figure out where it is that we are right now and be really clear about where it is that we're going. And so I designed this ebook to be able to help all walks of life at whatever stage you're at on your musical journey. So I really hope that it is helpful. Download it. It's free. The link is in the description below. Thanks for watching. My name's Crafty, and I'll see you in the part 3 video.